All right, here we go. How y'all doing? What's up? So they have a new story that's out, and it's about Cassie. Cassie is writing letters to the judge describing the nightmare she had with Diddy. So you guys know they might let Diddy out on a light or a long sentence. We don't know, honey. But so Cassie, you guys know Cassie was one of his whores, and she has sued him for beating on her and doing all this type of shit with her and everything. And now she's saying that she don't want his ass to go, she want him to be in jail forever because she's scared of what he's going to do, because he want to retaliate against that ass, right? So this is some of the footage that everybody's talking about it. So I said, let's talk about it. Let's get these likes up. Let's not play with it, okay? Listen to this.
Girlfriend of 11 years, Cassie, has written a letter to the judge just days before his October 3rd sentencing. In the letter, she explains how trapped she felt in the relationship, having to, quote, perform repeated sex acts with hired male sex workers during multi-day freak-offs which occurred nearly weekly. She said Diddy threatened to destroy her life and career by leaking sex tapes if she did not participate. The letter also says, quote, Sean Combs would hit me, punch me, stomp on my face, pull my hair, and throw my body to the ground and against the wall. The horror I endured drove me to have thoughts of suicide, ones I almost followed through on. In a court filing obtained by TMZ, prosecutors say they want at least 35 months of prison time for Diddy, along with a $500,000 fine. The sentencing will be this Friday, October 3rd in New York. Diddy's ex-girlfriend of 11.
All right, so what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about it? I don't know how I feel about it. They was in a relationship. He wanted her to do all these freak offs. She participated in there. I think she could have left if she wanted to. But that's just about it. They have a hate and a love relationship for each other. They do each other wrong, and they took it big. Well, she took it big, and he didn't even think she could take it as far as she did, but she did. And here we are now. I just say stay single. This is what y'all get for getting in these relationships. Keep y'all asses single. Hell. But you want to be in a relationship so bad. But let's see here. I want to see what people are saying. It says you got paid right and you know what you were doing. That's what I said. She did the whole know what she was doing. Okay. But I believe that she has to paint herself as this victim or whatever. And it helps because a lot of people relate with her and all this shit. So it works for her defense. I mean, it's a fight. I don't think I don't think nobody is honest. I don't think Diddy is honest. I don't think Cassie is honest. None of you motherfuckers honest. But I'm not mad at Cassie for lying or doing whatever she got to do to get her money. I mean, it's war. This is enemy territory. Diddy and Cassidy, they're enemies to each other. So they're going to fuck each other the hardest they can. And that's just what it is. I mean, this is war. All right. So it says, one of the hardest things for most people to do is to accept their own role and behavior in relationships, especially ones that end badly. You will often stay stuck until you get real with yourself. Well, I think Cassie know what the fuck she did was wrong, but she has to play this victim, innocent individual to get what she wants. I think that's just how the game is. The game don't allow you to be all honest. So that's not going to happen. She's going to play it up. She's hurt and she's scared and all that to get all she wants. And remember, Cassie is nothing but a puppet. So somebody in the higher ups that is, getting Cassie to do this and do that and say this and say that. So that's how I feel about that. I feel like you never really know the truth behind a lot of people. So they got a whole bunch of, I guess these supposed to be dicks up in the mouth. I never had that many in my mouth at one time before. I never did that. All right. People are saying victim card. Well, of course. Of course. All right. Hey, Kavan. How you doing, baby? I'm glad you here, honey. Ooh, what's going on, Kavan? All right. What are y'all saying in the comments? They said, nah. Well, do y'all want to come up here and talk? Y'all can hit that link. Let me give y'all a link just in case y'all want to come up here and talk and argue and stuff like that. We can do it. So I'm putting up this link up here just in case if y'all want to come up here and argue. All right, let's come on, argue. Let's argue about it, baby. Okay. All right, let's argue. I'm going to put the link up so you guys can come up here and say what you got to say about this shit. Let me pin it. Pin message. All right, Donna said, nah, she couldn't have left and be safe. She definitely started off as a victim. Donna, you believe that she couldn't. I believe that she could. If she out here sucking different niggas' dicks, she out here on Kid Cudi dick. She out here. She doing so much. You know, she could. She could leave. Trust me. It says I will have to get him and his evil. She ended up liking it before it was after. You see how he beat on her. Yeah, Donna. Most of these husbands beat on their women. Donna, a man beating on a woman in America or in the world, that is not unheard of, Nana. Men been beating on women since the beginning of time. Some women beat on a man back. So just because he beating on her, she also liked to be there. She liked to reap the benefits. She wanted to be Hollywood. She sold her soul out to be famous, Donna. You know, she wasn't going to leave all that shit behind and just be nobody. She even said she was jealous of different individuals. She liked freaking off. You know, she even said she liked some of that. She just didn't want to do it all the time. But Donna, when you get with a man like this and you come in a game and they be like, I want to control you and own you, and you volunteer, be like, okay, daddy, you can own me. I'm yours. I belong to you. You are setting yourself for all this bullshit. And you know he is a thug in a suit. Come on now. You know he not a child of God. He not going to Jesus. If you want a man of God, deal with a saint. Okay? So that's just what you get when you roll those dice when you're dealing with controlling men that are powerful. Most powerful men like Trump, Elon Musk, Diddy, they all are powerful, and most likely they want to control you. You're not anything to them but objects. You know that shit when you get in the game. And most girls and guys that be with these people, they come into the game be like, I'm willingly to be your object. I worship you. I do whatever you want me to do. If you want me to eat your ass, eat your shit, I do it. It's just like those women that go to the bar and they get shitted on. They voluntarily is getting shitted on. And then they want to play victim. Bitch, please. I'm not falling for that shit, and neither should you. And an order way to get out of those situations is to be open mind and realize, hey, nothing in life is free. Men with money, they're gonna want to control you. Ain't no ifs, ands, or what about it. Rappers, they're gonna want to control you and they're gonna cheat on you, and most likely they're gonna hit on you. Come on. I just can't stand when y'all act stupid when you get with certain men. When you get with certain men, you already know what the fuck time it is. Hell. Okay. But that's my thought. But if you want to argue, hit that link and bring your ass up on. Kavan said if a man really loves you, he wouldn't have you out here giving your flowers to different men. Kavan, this don't got nothing to do with love. Do you think Cassie loved Diddy? Hell no. She was with him because of his power, his influence, and his money. Cassie didn't have nothing love involved when it come to Diddy. And Diddy didn't have nothing love when it come to Cassie. Diddy saw any woman as objects. You're nothing but an object to these men. Hell, in real life, you're nothing but objects to these men. They don't give a damn about no woman. They don't. Especially a man like Diddy, he'll never give a fuck about no woman or no man. He gonna care about himself. You're nothing but an object. And these women don't give a damn about these men. These women don't give a fuck about these men. They want these men because of their money and their status. The sooner y'all can realize that and accept that truth, the better off y'all will be. Love don't got shit to do with shit. So somebody said, but is it really worth putting your life at risk? Yes, Kavan. To some of them, they are. Shit, I probably put my life at risk for some niggas. because it's what you want. And sometimes if you want a fantasy lifestyle, if you want to become successful, just like people will sell out and say fuck it, whatever I got to do to become famous or to be a part of this lifestyle, that's the fuck what I'm going to do. I can take a black eye a few times. Hell, my mama did it, you know. People have that mentality. You know how many bitches are getting beat right now, Kavan, and they're still in marriages, and you would never know, you know? So people do it, and it is worth. I mean, Kavan, maybe you won't do it, but everybody don't think like you. Everybody don't have that same mindset, you know? Everybody is different. And most of these men are cheating on their women and they beating their women. It's kind of a norm, you know? They just don't put their business out there because they don't want people to know about it because they're ashamed. But it happens often. All right, so this is what the people are saying in the comment section. They said free Diddy. A lot of people here are saying free Diddy, as you guys can see. Free Diddy. What? Okay, but Gigi, you don't want to get you don't want to catch something can't get rid of. That's just the risk that they're taking. I mean, Kavar, look how many stats people got STDs and HIV. It's a lot of motherfuckers, right? It's over millions. So, I mean, a lot of people have that, meaning that a lot of people took those chances. And even if you are in a marriage and you're faithful, you cannot control your husband. And most husbands are cheating with prostitutes, which are high risk. And a lot of people that are marriages that are faithful catch some shit. As long as you are fucking with someone, you are at a risk of catching some shit. The only way if you don't want to catch no shit, stop fucking. Keep your legs closed. Stop being with men. Stop being with women. Don't be with nobody. Just be single your whole life. And then you won't be catching no shit unless you do drugs or something like that. But that's the only best way and the safe way and the only way is abstinence, not having sex at all. But if you fucking, you are at a risk. Even if you fucking only your husband, you at a risk. However you twist it. If you don't want to catch nothing for sure, stop fucking. That's the only advice I can tell you that's going to be real, okay? Whew. So it looked like everybody is really tired of this Diddy shit, look like from the comments section. As you guys can see here. Now let's go to another one. What up, Lisa? Damn, did y'all get the notifications or y'all getting it late? What is going on with my shit? I don't know. But this is Callie. I was gonna call her Kavan. She got the you can't leave a comment on here, but these are her pictures that she just posted, I guess. All right. So this is her and her man. I guess this is when she was pregnant, just to show you what she looking like now and what they up to. Uh-huh. And they said she was fucking on this man when she was still with Diddy. You know, she always had dick in her mouth when she was with Diddy. You know? I mean, what else could you say, you know? And she left. She left and she didn't end up dead. If Diddy was so controlling, then how the fuck did she end up leaving and getting with a man? He would have been killed the bitch. You know what I'm saying? But she gone. Now she with another woman. And Cassie and all these other women be like, I'm jealous that Diddy is with Young Miami and he's treating her good and all this shit. You know, they still got feelings for that man and love that man, regardless. It's just the battle they got to play. And the people, y'all ain't nothing but pawns in their game. You're nothing but a pawn, meaning that they're going to tell you a story, get your feelings involved so they can have you on their side, and you're just being used as a pawn in their game. They're going to lie. They're going to do whatever they can to make it seem X, Y, and Z. And that's just all you are. You're just nothing but a pawn. But they don't give a fuck about y'all. Yeah. Okay? They're going to do what they want to do. Uh-huh. Mm-mm-mm. I won't be surprised if his ass is whooping on Cassie behind closed doors. He seemed like the type. He just looked weird to me. All right. But that's who they are. I believe he was what was he? A fitness person? Somebody that was into fitness. Diddy hired him. He came from Diddy. and he was helping her, and then he started fucking on her, and then that's all the roads. That is all the roads. So people are happy for her happiness. She's happy now, so she moved on, and all is well, and everybody just doing their thing. Look at that, ain't that so nice? Okay, so she's living her best life. What else could you ask for? And she got all that money now. She's a damn millionaire. What else did she ask for? Kavan, you didn't get a notification? Why is my shit like this? Why y'all not getting notifications? I really don't understand. I don't understand this YouTube shit. I mean, since recently, YouTube has been crazy. It's giving me a headache, okay? But I'm trying my best.
Hey, we're going in the waterfall. We're going in the waterfall. Face. Okay, I get one.
All right, well, that's her man. I guess white men do it better, honey. Get you a white man. I don't know why you're fucking with a black man if you want a good relationship anyway. Get you a white man. They say they'll treat you better. A black man ain't gonna treat you but shit and gonna whoop your ass. You know how black men are. Damn. Okay. Well, she got with a white man and now she's happy. Okay. Now let's move on. What else they saying about Cassie? I guess it's let's go here.
He will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulative man that he is. Those were Cassie's words to the judge ahead of Diddy's sentencing on Friday. Cassie writing a powerful victim impact statement to the judge, explaining that a free Diddy is a dangerous man who she has no doubts will come after her directly and seek retribution. Cassie says she fears for her family's safety and what Diddy is capable of. And for that very reason, she has moved her family out of New York and is laying low. She says what she's learned from this experience of testifying and going through the trial is that she and other victims will never be safe. Once again, she detailed that at 9 months pregnant, she took the stand and testified that at the age of 19, Diddy started grooming her to perform weekly freak-offs for over a decade that left her degraded and disgusted, all to stay in his good graces. Details the years of violence and the threats to her family. And the reason she tells the judge that Diddy will never change is because when she first came out with these allegations, Diddy vehemently denied them all. And it wasn't until the hotel attack video came out that he had no other option but to issue an insincere apology. She once again stated that her experience with Diddy almost drove her to unalive herself and that she almost went through with it. And lastly, she asked the judge to give Diddy a sentence that reflects the realities and experiences of the victims that came forward. Now, the maximum prison sentence that Diddy is looking at is 20 years in prison. The prosecution is pushing for at least 11 years, which is coincidentally how long Diddy and Cassie were together. The defense is pushing for 14 months, which is roughly time served, meaning that in a couple of months, Diddy could be a free man. The U.S. Probation Department is recommending a sentence ranging between 5 to 7 years. So it is unlikely that the judge will side with either side in this case and will likely land in the middle, closer to where the U.S. Probation Department is recommending, anywhere between that 5 to 7 year range. He will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulative man that he is. Those were Cassie's words to the judge ahead of Diddy's sentencing on Friday. Cassie writing a powerful victim impact statement to the judge, explaining that a free Diddy is a dangerous man who she has no doubts will come after her directly and seek retribution. Cassie says she fears for her family's safety and what Diddy is capable of, and for that.
She's a good reporter, right? She is such a good reporter.
Cassie has written a letter to the judge before Diddy's sentencing. She writes, "One thing I've learned from this experience is that victims and survivors will never be safe. Although I can hope for justice and accountability, I've come to not trust anything. I hope that your decision considers the truths at hand that the jury failed to see."
Cassie Ventura submits her victim statement against Diddy for sentencing. The government has just put in their motion for Diddy's sentencing hearing coming up next week, and they're asking for Diddy to get an 11-year prison sentence. And I'll get into that in a little bit, but right now let's go over these victim statements that were submitted by the prosecution against Diddy for sentencing. These letters are starting with Cassie Ventura. She says, "I have been in a cycle of thought and then overthought writing this letter to you. If there's one thing that I've learned from this experience, it's that victims and survivors will never be safe. Although I can hope for justice and accountability, I have come to not trust anything. I hope that your decision considers the truths at hand that the jury failed to see. For 4 days in May, while 9 months pregnant with my son, I testified in front of a packed courtroom about the most traumatic and horrifying chapter in my life. I testified that from age 19. Sean Combs used violence, threats, substances, and control over my career to trap me in over a decade of abuse. He groomed me into performing repeated acts with hired male workers during multiple day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. I was forced into lingerie and heels, told exactly how to look, and was piled with illegal substances and alcohol so that he could control me like a puppet. These events were degrading and disgusting, leaving me with infections, illness, and days of physical and emotional exhaustion before he demanded it all again. Acts became my full-time job, used as the only way to stay in his good graces. I testified that I learned to read Sean Combs' signals, knowing that when he spoke of freak-offs, he was demanding them, and that refusing meant punishment, losing my car, my phone, or worse. He controlled every part of my livelihood and threatened to destroy my reputation by leaking tapes, a threat he repeated often. His power over me eroded my independence and sense of self until I felt like I had no choice but to submit. When he believed I had wronged him or I was not sufficient in my response, he also threatened people around me and those close to me, including my family. I worried that displeasing him meant putting my family and my friends' safety at risk. I testified beyond these threats. Sean Combs frequently used violence to get his way. I testified beyond these threats. Sean Combs frequently used violence to get his way. Over the nearly decade that we were together, Sean Combs would hit me, punch me, stomp on my face, pull my hair, and throw my body to the ground and against the wall. The jury saw the pictures of bruises on my back from Sean Combs kicking me and saw the deep gash over my eye he caused when slamming me into the bed frame. The entire courtroom watched the actual footage of Sean Combs kicking and beating me as I tried to run away from a freak-off in 2016. People watched this footage dozens of times, seeing my body thrown to the ground, my hands over my head, curled up into fetal position to shield me from the worst blows. This violence caused bruises that my makeup artist, paid for by Sean Combs, would cover up, as well as permanent scars all over my body. During my time with Sean, I was in a constant state of hypervigilance, as I always anticipated demands for freak-offs, otherwise fearing retribution for any perceived slight. My descent into substance abuse was directly correlated with his increased control over my body, my money, my freedom, my free will. I used these substances to push through the horrifying acts that he demanded and to numb myself from the physical and emotional turmoil that I was constantly in. While the defense attorneys at trial suggested that my time with Combs was a great modern love story, nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing about this story is great, modern, or loving. This was a horrific decade of my life sustained by abuse, violence, forced physical acts, and degradation. I spent the last 7 years of my life slowly rebuilding myself, physically getting clean from substance abuse that Sean Combs forced and encouraged, mentally understanding how to live with a seemingly insurmountable level of trauma. The horrors of what I endured drove me to thoughts of unaliving, ones that I almost followed through on, if not for my family's intervention and urging me to professional care. I have been to rehab and I have taken part in dozens of types of therapy to comfort, compartmentalize, and cope with the horrific abuse that I endured for nearly 10 years. While what he did to me is always present, I am slowly learning how to live my life free of fear and horrors that I endured. And in doing so, I am fully devoted to my husband and my children. I still have nightmares and flashbacks on a regular, everyday basis and continue to require psychological care to cope with my past. My worries are that Sean Combs and his associates will come after me and my family, and it's my reality. I have in fact moved my family out of the New York area and am keeping as quiet as I possibly can because I'm so scared if he walks free, his actions will be swift retribution towards me and others who have spoke up about his abuse at trial. As much progress as I have made in recovering from his abuse, I remain very much afraid of what he is capable of and the malice he undoubtedly harbors towards me for having the bravery to tell the truth. The defense attorney claims that he is a changed man and he wants to mentor abusers. I know firsthand what real mentorship means, and this disgusts me. And he is not being truthful. I know who he was to me. The manipulator, the aggressor, the abuser, the trafficker is who he is as a human. He has no interest in changing or becoming better. He will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulated man that he is. When I came out with my allegations in my civil case, he flatly denied them again and again. It was only after the actual video footage corroborated the exact words in my civil complaint that he used an apology on the internet. Thanks to the footage in my testimony, this is something that he will forever be associated with. For over a decade.
All right, so I'm going to put that video as an upload so you guys can watch the whole thing at this channel, The Breakdown Play. I'm going to get on out of here, but what do you guys think about this? People are saying, well, this is why victims don't come forward. Well, this is life. You know, you're going to always have that. And what do you guys think how the future is going to hold? Where is this country going? And what does it mean for people like Cassie? Huh? Where do you guys think this country is going? And what does it mean for people like Cassie? What do you guys think? What do you guys think the future of this country? Did you guys know we're going into a government shutdown? What I think about the future of the country, I think we going back to 1950 shit, where men can beat on their women and ain't nobody gonna say shit about it. And the powerful people get powerful. That's where we're going. So y'all better realize and be prepared with what's going on. So that's how I see the world. Do y'all see the world differently? What do y'all think about the world? Where are we going? And are you prepared for what's to come? I know I'm gonna stay in my motherfucking spot and play shit. I'm not about to get out of line. Okay. I don't want his ass to deport my ass, okay? But I'm out of here. I love you guys, and I see you guys on the next upload. Y'all know I got different channels I'm popping up on. All right, bye.